Okay, children. So, our today's topic iteration or looping statements and jump statements. Learning objectives are to understand the concept of iterative statements for and while, understand the concept of nested loop, and understand the break and the continue statements. Okay. Now, for and while, these are called as the looping statements or iteration statements, whereas break and continue are the jump statements. Looping statements or iterative statements allow us to execute a block of statements as long as a particular condition remains true. Loop statements are required when we need to run the same code again and again, and each time with a different value. Okay. See, when you will go to higher classes, at that time you will find there are many methods in mathematics which are iterative in nature. Means we have to do the same process over and over again, unless we come to a conclusion. Okay, right? Python provides us two kind of loop. One is a for loop and another one is a while loop. Okay. Now, for loop is basically a counting type of loop. What is a counting type of loop? That repeats a certain number of times. Okay. And conditional loop means until a condition is true, right? Till the condition is true, the loop will continue. So while loop is a type of conditional loop. Okay. For loop is used for iterating over a sequence. That is either a list, a tuple, a dictionary, a set, or a string. Syntax. For variable name in sequence colon, then what are the statements in the body of the for loop. Okay. Now, how many values are there in the sequence, that will determine how many times the loop will be running. Okay. Right. Now, this is the flowchart for the for loop. It checks whether the last item is reached. If yes, okay, it checks for whether we have reached the last item. If yes, then the loop is ended. Okay, if we are not reached to the last element, then the loop statements will execute, and again it will go back to the condition checking. Okay. For example, for A in list 147, print A multiplied by A. Okay. So what will happen in this loop? Here 147 is a sequence. Name of the sequence is list. Name of the sequence is list. Okay. Then there are 3 elements in the list. Therefore, the loop will also run 3 times. Okay. Now, these 2 statements, print A and print A multiplied by A, they are in the same indentation level. So both of them will form the body of the loop. Okay. The loop variable is assigned the first value in the sequence. That is step number 1. Then all the statements in the body are executed. Okay. Then going back to loop statement. Next value will be taken. Okay. Again, the block of statement will be executed, and so on. So this process continues till all the values in the sequence are processed. Okay. Now we have a range function. To loop through a set of code specified number of times, we can use the range function. A range function returns a sequence of number by default starting with 0 and increment by 1 and ends at a specified number. Okay. Now, downside one example is given range 2, 30, 3. So what is the meaning of this? First variable is the start. First parameter given is the starting value. That means the first value to be generated will be 2. Okay. So the first value is the starting value. Second value is the ending value. Okay. So once it starts, 3 parameters are given. One is start, one is stop, another is step. The values are generated from start to stop minus 1. That means the last value generated will be maximum 29 in this particular case. Okay, we cannot have a value more than this. Okay, always the last value will be less than this value. Now we coming to the third variable. Third variable is called as the step. Means how many numbers should be skipped. So if the first number is 2, then 3, 4, 5 will be skipped. Okay. Right? So like that it will skip the numbers. Okay. Now you see for I in range 233. Okay. So 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, and so on. And you can see the last number is 29. Okay, which is less than 30. We will never get a value with the range, we will never get a value which is equal to the end value or greater than end value. It will be always less than only. Right? Now, we come over to the while loop. The while loop is having 4 parts. Okay, as we have already studied, it is a conditional loop. So it will follow a particular condition. Till a particular condition is true, the loop is going to execute continuously. The condition is checked every time at the beginning of the loop. Therefore, it is also known as entry time or entry level loop. Because the checking is going on when the loop, when the variable enters the loop. Okay. Other programming languages, they also have loops which are exit level control. That means when the loop is exiting, at the last they will check. Okay. Every loop has 4 elements, right? One is the body of the loop, another is the test expression, initialization expression, and update. Okay. I for initialization, T for test, B for body, Okay, U for update, right? Now here control comes, condition checked, true or false. Condition true, block will execute, otherwise it will go back to the condition. Okay, if the value is false, will come out of the loop. Okay, see, this is the example. N equal to 0, that is the initialization expression for the looping variable. Next is while n greater than 0, that is a condition. Okay, followed by print n and n equal to -3. These are the body of the loop. Now the value of n is being changed, like n minus equal to 3. Is it clear, children?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll go to the next section. Here we will see the jump statements. Okay. Now you see, jump statements are used to do something when some special situation occurs. So break statement is used to stop the loop prematurely. Okay, right? For example, here is a example is given: exit the loop when x is banana. So fruits equal to list is given. For x in fruits, print x. Okay, if x equal to banana, break. Right? So here iterative statement is used, for loop is used. Okay, and we have used if condition with a break inside the loop. Okay, so what is done here? Okay, now similarly the next is exit the loop when I is 3. So while I is less than 6, print I. If I equal to 3, if the value of I is 3, in that case, what should happen? The break should apply. Okay, the break condition should be applied and the loop should be stopped. With the continue statement, we skip the current iteration, the remaining statements of the loop, and then we can continue with the next set of values. Okay. Now every loop of just like if both the loops, that is else and while, sorry, for and while, they have a else part, right? So the else part is executed when the loop is having a proper exit. The loop statement will, the else statement will not execute if the loop has been terminated prematurely. Okay. When the else is when will the else statement execute? When the for loop or while loop has ended normally. Okay, if the break statement is encountered, then the else part will not execute. right? So this feature we can make use. Okay. Then we have the nested loops. What are the nested loops? Nested loops are those loops which are within a loop. Okay. Now the inner loop has to terminate before the outer loop. If the inner loop does not terminate, then outer loop also cannot terminate. Right? This is an example to create a pyramid. Okay. Right. So now I'm going to give you some examples. Just give me 1 minute. Children, can you see my screen now? Yes, children, can you see?
Sir, it is not visible, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
yes, now it is visible.
Visible, sir.
Right. Okay. So in the range function, right? A is the starting value. B is the final value. Okay. Third value step signifies how the value of a variable will change. Okay. So in this particular case, the first value to be used will be 2. The next value is 2 plus 3, that is 5. Next value is 8. Next value will be 11, which is more than 10. So only these three will be the output. Okay. Suppose we are having 2, 11, 3. Then also this value will be taken up to 1 minus 10. Is it clear? Okay. Now we are going to see the program. Okay. The program is written to find factorial of a number. Have you studied about factorial? Yes, children, have you studied about factorial in 11th class mathematics? Okay. Have you heard about factorial or not? See, factorial multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4. Okay. Continued up to n. So 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. Okay. For example, if we say 6 factorial. So 6 factorial will be 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6. Calculate how much it is. Yes, children, how much it is? What is the value of 6 factorial? That is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6. What is the value? Yes, children, how much it will be? Can't you multiply these numbers? It is going to be yes, 720. Children, when I am presenting the screen, at that time I cannot see the meet screen. So now we are going to write a program. Okay. So what we have to do, we will initialize a number. Let us say num. So we will say num equal to int input okay, then factorial is the fact is the variable which is going to hold the value of factorial. So it should be initialized into 1. Why? Everything that is to be initialized as now any number, so that will be multiplied. Suppose if I start taking a 0, then whatever I will multiply will become 0. Okay, since we are going to multiply here and the identity element of multiplication is 1. Okay, so therefore we have taken here 1. Now for I in range range 2 comma num plus 1 comma 2 follow, then right, okay. Children, are you able to understand this? Okay, why we have taken here num plus 1? So that up to num, the loop should go. Okay. Two comma num plus 1, fact multiply equal to I, print fact. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now the same program we will be looking with the help of a while loop. So this line will be same to same. Okay. Then we take I equal to 1. Then while I less than num. While I less than num, fact equal to fact into I. Okay, right? At last में this value can be printed. Okay. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Now we are going to run this program here. Okay. So let us say num equal to so the value of fact is assigned as 1. Okay. Then for I in range two comma num plus 1, then Okay. Now I am going to write down the same program using the while loop. Please note the difference between the condition of while and if. Now you can see nothing is happening and the program is running and running and running. Okay, because this is the infinite loop. Okay, what happened here? I is the looping variable. Okay, on the behalf of i's value only, we are running the program. Okay, now its value should change in each and every iteration. If its value doesn't change in each and every iteration, then it goes to infinite iteration. So this is the factorial of 7. Okay, children. So this is how we calculate the factorials. Okay. Okay, children. Give me 1 minute. So then now we are going to solve some problems. Okay, so that you also get an idea how to solve the questions, because not just programs we have to make, we have to do other type of questions also, that is finding out the output. Now you can see the question. Find the output of the following program. Okay. So for I in range 2032, okay, print I. Right. So what will happen for I in range 2032? So what it is going to do? What values is it going to give? It is going to give the value 20, 22, 24, and 28. Okay, these are the values which will be printed. Right? Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because of range function. Okay, so what will be the output? Output will be like, you see, here print I is only given, nothing else. So only numbers will be printed. So how they will be printed? They will be printed like 20, 22, 24, 28. So we have to stop just before 30. Okay, just before 30, let us say 29. So 29 will not come in the series of even numbers. So that is why the final value is 28. So this is the output. Okay. Now, the second is country equal to India. For I in country, print I. Right. So what will be printed? I, N, D, I, A, India. Okay. Then next, I equal to 0. Sum is also 0. While I is less than 9. So we have to take the value of I up to 8 only. Okay. If I mod 4 equal 0, sum equal to sum plus I. So initially, okay, so what will happen? The initial value of I is 0. Okay. And sum is also 0. So this is I and this is sum. Okay. While I less than 9, condition is true. If I mod 4 equal to 0, right? So 0 divided by 4, remainder will be 0. Sum equal to sum plus I. What is it? This is sum. Sum plus I is 1 only. Okay. So sum will again be 0. Then I equal to I plus 2. So I becomes now 2. Okay. Then sum equal to sum plus I. Initially the value of sum is 0. Again it will become 2. So sum I equal to I plus 2. So value of I will become 4. Okay. Right. So like this the values will be generated, and then you have to give the print also. Okay. Is it clear? Now in these questions there is a big problem that is called as okay. So I hope you understand this kind of question. Now, what will be the output of the following program? Okay, C and T equal to 1 for I in range 6 comma minus 1. Right? So in this question, what is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. Why? Because here it is given 6 comma minus 1. Okay, so this value should be a value which is greater than this value. Otherwise, the loop will not run even for a single time. Okay. Right. Now next, m comma n equal to 85 comma 25. M not equal to n print equal else print not equal. So what will happen? Now when we say m comma n equal to 85 comma 25, then m will take the value pehla wala. Is it clear? So if m not equal to n, definitely we can see that they are not equal to n. So the output will be print equal. Okay, children, I think so. Did you understand what it is? How we have to solve the questions? Little bit idea you might have got, because as I told, it will come only by practice. Okay, right? How to do the question? What you have to do is to start from the first statement and then go on executing. Okay, if any for loop is there that execute the for loop like that you have to do, right? Okay. So that's all for today. We'll meet tomorrow, same time, 2 o'clock, with more programs. Okay, children?
Yes, sir.